Have you ever really stopped to think about your refrigerator? I mean, it's just a cold box, right? Well, today we're diving into this simple story about a family and their brand new fridge. And it reveals this fascinating paradox how a piece of technology brought in with the absolute best intentions can totally reshape our lives in ways we just never see coming. So, it all starts with a simple, pretty logical question. The father asks, "Hey, why do we need a refrigerator?" And the mother's answer? It's the perfect sales pitch for progress. We can preserve food, cut down on waste, and save money. It's this irresistible promise of a smarter, more efficient life. I mean, who could say no to that? And honestly, who could argue with that logic? Less waste, more savings, more time back in your day. On paper, the refrigerator seemed like the absolute perfect solution to so many of those little everyday problems. And so, totally swayed by this simple promise, they brought one into their home. So, with this promise of a better, more efficient life buzzing in the air, the family welcomed their new cold box. They were expecting savings, simplicity, an upgrade. But what they actually got was, well, something else entirely. Yeah, that simple promise? It started to unravel pretty quickly. This new appliance didn't just solve problems, it actually started creating a whole bunch of new ones. Costs they had never, ever even considered. So a little while later, the father sits down and takes a hard look at their finances, and the picture is not at all what he expected. The gas bills are up, grocery costs have climbed, and somehow they have more trash than ever before. The promise of saving money had somehow turned into a reality of spending more. How on earth did that happen? And this wasn't just one little issue. It was like a domino effect of unintended consequences. A new power bill? Okay, that was expected. But higher grocery bills? More waste? And here's the real kicker. They were now eating stale leftovers almost every day. The very device that was meant to preserve freshness was, in a way, doing the opposite. The solution had literally become the source of new problems. Okay, so you're faced with all this evidence. Higher bills, more waste, stale food. What would you do? You'd think they'd get rid of it, right? Nope, not exactly. Their reaction is maybe the most revealing part of this whole story. It shows just how quickly something we want can transform into something we feel we absolutely need. And there it is, the justification. Despite all the downsides, all the extra costs, getting rid of the fridge is now, it's unthinkable. The convenience, no matter the price, has become a permanent part of their lives. They're locked in. So what on earth made it so indispensable? Well, it wasn't just about storing leftovers anymore. The fridge actually created its own demand for things like popsicles, candies, sodas, and all those processed, ready-to-eat meals. The technology didn't just change how they stored food, it completely changed what food they bought and ate. And this right here, this gets to the very heart of the matter. The family didn't just get a new appliance. Their entire lifestyle was transformed. And when you see the before and after right next to each other, wow, the change is just staggering. Just look at this contrast. It's night and day. On one side, you have fresh vegetables, fruits, homemade lemonade, baked bread. On the other, processed snacks, sugary sodas, and ready-made foods. See, the refrigerator didn't just add to their old habits, it completely replaced them. This is the hidden trade-off they made, and they probably didn't even realize it was happening. This whole journey, from that simple promise to this complex new reality, it perfectly illustrates a really powerful idea, and we're calling it the cold box paradox. So what exactly does that mean? Here it is in a nutshell. The cold box paradox. It's when a technology that's designed to make our lives easier and more efficient actually ends up leading to more complexity, more waste, and maybe even a decline in our overall well-being. And if you really think about it, this isn't just about refrigerators, is it? We see this pattern playing out everywhere. And that brings us to the father's final, kind of haunting question. After all the changes, the new expenses, the new habits, he just looks at their new life and asks, did this really help us become healthier? The story leaves that hanging, because really it's a question for us to answer about the technology in our own lives. What cold box paradoxes are hiding in plain sight in your home?